In the late 19th century, photography was becoming a popular way for people to capture moments and memories. One of the most significant innovations in this field was the cabinet card. These photographs, typically measuring about 4.25 by 6.5 inches, were mounted on a thick cardboard backing. This design made them easier to display and preserve than earlier photographic formats. Cabinet cards quickly became a staple in portrait photography, especially among families and individuals who wanted to commemorate special occasions. If you enjoy this video, please like the video and subscribe for more, and tell me where you are watching from today. I always find it awesome to see where all my viewers are watching from. Let's get back to the video. The rise of cabinet cards coincided with advancements in photographic technology. As cameras became more accessible and easier to use, more people began to experiment with photography. The invention of the collodion process allowed for clearer images and shorter exposure times. Photographers could now take multiple portraits in a single sitting, leading to increased competition among studios. Cabinet cards appealed to a wide audience because they offered a way for anyone to have professional quality photographs at a reasonable price. Unlike earlier formats, cabinet cards featured an ornate design on their backing, often displaying the studio's name and location. This not only added a sense of prestige, but also made them collectible items. People would often visit photographers to have their portraits taken, and once they received their cabinet cards, they would proudly display them in their homes or share them with friends and family. This trend transformed cabinet cards into a social currency of sorts, allowing people to showcase their style and status. As cabinet cards gained popularity, photographers began to experiment with different styles and techniques. They incorporated various props, backgrounds, and arrangements to create unique portraits. Some photographers became known for their exceptional skills, while others focused on capturing candid moments that told stories about the subjects. This diversity in approach added to the allure of cabinet cards, making them a cherished item for many households. In addition to individual portraits, cabinet cards were often used for family photos, graduation pictures, and even promotional images for local businesses. They captured important milestones in people's lives and served as tokens of remembrance. Many families would commission several cabinet cards over the years, creating a visual timeline of their loved ones' growth and achievements. However, the cabinet card was more than just a popular photograph. It represented a shift in how society viewed photography as an art form. It elevated the medium from simple documentation to a respected craft. Photographers took pride in their work and sought to innovate, pushing the boundaries of what could be achieved within the confines of a small frame. This period also marked the beginning of personal branding for photographers. With studios popping up across towns and cities, photographers needed to distinguish themselves from the competition. The quality of their cabinet cards became crucial in attracting clients. Many photographers invested in better equipment and experimented with lighting techniques to create striking images that would stand out. As the decade progressed, so did the demand for even better cabinet cards. Photographers began incorporating new materials and designs to enhance their offerings. Some experimented with colors or distinctive borders, while others introduced artistic elements like hand painting or embellishments on the photographs themselves. The desire for uniqueness fueled creativity within the industry. Photographers knew that if they failed to innovate or keep up with trends, they risked being overshadowed by others who were eager to embrace new approaches. This pressure led many photographers to work tirelessly in hopes of creating a signature style that would ensure their success. While cabinet cards were a valuable medium during this era, they eventually faced competition from other photographic formats that were emerging in the market. However, none could match the charm and popularity that cabinet cards held in society's heart at the time. As we delve deeper into the story of the 1890 cabinet card that made photographers quit, it's essential to recognize how much this format impacted not just those behind the camera, but also those who cherished these images. The cabinet card was more than just a piece of cardboard with a photograph glued on it. It symbolized memories frozen in time, connections between people, and an ever-evolving art form that defined an era. Through the lens of history, we can see how cabinet cards reflected not only personal stories, but also societal changes. This fascinating background sets the stage for understanding why one particular cabinet card became such a pivotal piece in photography's narrative, leading some photographers to rethink their careers entirely. As we continue on this journey, we will explore more about what made that specific cabinet card so remarkable and how it changed everything for those in the industry. As the 1890s unfolded, photography surged in popularity, becoming an essential part of everyday life for many people. With the invention of more user-friendly cameras and advancements in photographic techniques, capturing special moments became accessible to a broader audience. This era marked a shift from photography being a rare luxury enjoyed by the wealthy to a common practice embraced by families and individuals from all walks of life. Central to this photographic revolution was the cabinet card, which quickly became the favored format for those wishing to commemorate milestones and memories. Families would gather for portrait sessions, celebrating events like birthdays, anniversaries, and graduations. These photographs were not merely images. They represented lasting connections among loved ones and served as tangible reminders of cherished times. When cabinet cards were displayed on mantelpieces or walls, they told stories about family history and pride. The demand for cabinet cards skyrocketed during this decade, fueled by their appealing size and design. Unlike larger portraits that needed extensive framing or awkwardly shaped images that could not easily fit in albums, cabinet cards were compact yet offered enough space for creativity. Photographers could experiment with different poses, backgrounds, and props while still providing clients with an elegant final product. In towns across America and Europe, studios began sprouting up like wildflowers in spring. Each photographer sought to carve out a niche in the competitive market by developing unique styles and techniques. Some focused on dramatic lighting effects that added depth to their subjects, while others specialized in playful compositions featuring children with toys or animals. The artistry behind each card became as important as the subject itself. During this time, the popularity of cabinet cards also intersected with societal changes. The late 19th century was a period of significant transformation marked by urbanization and industrialization. As families moved into cities for work opportunities, they often sought ways to maintain connections to their roots and celebrate their new lives. Cabinet cards provided a means of capturing both individual identities within this fast-changing environment and the sense of community that arose among neighbors. As photography entered homes as an essential element of family life, people began to share their cabinet cards socially. Friends would exchange portraits, creating collections that represented not just their own families, but also those around them. This sharing system turned cabinet cards into a kind of social currency, where having a collection signified one's status in the community. It was common for people to host gatherings where they would display their latest portraits or even trade them with one another. Additionally, local businesses recognized the potential market behind cabinet cards. Shopkeepers would partner with photographers to create promotional materials that showcased products alongside friendly faces from the community. This collaboration not only boosted sales, but also solidified relationships between photographers and entrepreneurs, further embedding cabinet cards into daily life. Throughout this decade, photographers worked tirelessly to meet their clients' growing demands while adapting to evolving tastes. They learned that success depended on not just technical skill, but also understanding clients' desires for personalization. Some photographers began offering themed sessions, such as seasonal portraits or family reunions, catering specifically to what people wanted at different times of the year or in response to cultural trends. The introduction of new printing techniques also played a role in popularizing cabinet cards during this period. Innovations made it possible for photographers to produce higher quality prints more quickly than ever before. This efficiency allowed studios to keep pace with rising consumer expectations while still delivering beautiful results that resonated with clients. As demand grew throughout the decade, it became evident that cabinet cards had firmly established themselves as a fashionable way to capture memories. Whether joyous family celebrations or solemn occasions like funerals. The versatility of these portraits suited nearly every need, making them indispensable tools for both personal use and business promotion. However, amidst all this flourishing activity lay an unanticipated consequence. Increased competition among photographers created pressure to innovate continuously and stand out in an already crowded marketplace. As many studios struggled against each other for attention from potential clients, some experienced burnout or felt discouraged by their inability to keep up with trends. The 1890s were undeniably a vibrant time for photography. It was an era when capturing memories became ingrained into societal norms through cabinet cards. As we explore further into our story about the remarkable cabinet card that left such an impact on photographers' lives and careers, we will uncover how this trend eventually led some professionals to walk away from their passion altogether. An outcome none could have anticipated amid such widespread enthusiasm for photography at the time. Among the many cabinet cards produced during the 1890s, one particular card stood out and captured the attention of photographers and the public alike. This unique cabinet card, known as the enigmatic family portrait, became legendary for its astonishing artistic quality and striking composition. Photographers hailed it as a masterclass in portraiture that pushed the boundaries of what was possible within this popular format. What set this cabinet card apart from others was the way it depicted a family of 6 in an engaging tableau that told a story. Instead of simply posing with somber expressions against a plain background, the subjects were arranged in an inviting domestic setting that showcased their personalities and relationships. The father, wearing a 3-piece suit, held a book while seated in a large armchair. Beside him, the mother cradled their youngest child, who playfully peered over her shoulder at the camera with wide-eyed curiosity. The older children, dressed in lovely Victorian attire, surrounded their parents, each engaged in an activity that reflected their character. One child read while another leaned forward to look intently at the viewer. The distinctiveness of the enigmatic family portrait didn't stop at its compelling arrangement. It was further elevated by its exquisite use of light and shadow. The photographer had mastered lighting techniques that created depth and warmth, giving life to every expression and detail. Soft sunlight streamed through a nearby window, highlighting the textures of their clothing and illuminating their faces with a gentle glow, drawing viewers into this intimate scene. The careful balance between light and darkness allowed viewers to feel as if they were intruding on a precious moment shared within this family's home. Another standout feature of this cabinet card was its intricate border design. Unlike ordinary cabinet cards that often displayed basic printed frames, the enigmatic family portrait boasted elaborate decorations that framed the image beautifully. The borders featured floral patterns intertwined with subtle geometric shapes, adding elegance to the overall presentation without overshadowing the photograph itself. This attention to detail not only enhanced its aesthetic appeal, but also symbolized the care and artistry behind its creation. Word spread quickly among photographers about this remarkable cabinet card, igniting both admiration and envy within the community. Studios across towns began trying to replicate its charm and success by emulating similar artistic elements or using theatrical backdrops like sumptuous drapes or ornate furnishings. However, despite their efforts, many could not achieve the same level of connection or emotion captured in the enigmatic family portrait. It stood as a testament to how creativity could transform what might otherwise be considered mundane into something extraordinary. As photographers pushed themselves to innovate in response to this new standard, some found themselves overwhelmed by pressure to outdo one another. They spent countless hours perfecting lighting techniques or searching for unique compositions, but ultimately struggled to capture that elusive spark displayed in this iconic image. In their quest for perfection, trying to mimic what had already been achieved, many felt frustrated when they fell short of meeting client expectations or individual artistic goals. Intrigued by how such an astounding cabinet card could change perceptions within photography circles, some photographers realized they faced an uncertain future. Would they continue striving for excellence while risking burnout? Would they abandon their creative passions altogether? For those who were deeply affected by the enigmatic family portrait, quitting photography became an option once they recognized that trying too hard didn't always yield success. Amidst these discussions surrounding artistic standards emerged another layer, a kind of existential question about authenticity versus imitation. Many photographers began asking whether they should pursue personal styles instead of following trends set by others' successes, like the enigmatic family portrait. While some accepted defeat against its brilliance, others used it as motivation for growth. Those individuals sought ways to differentiate themselves through exploration rather than mere replication. This unique cabinet card not only dazzled audiences, but also served as pivotal inspiration within artistic circles, an embodiment of innovation amidst challenge, and provoked discussions surrounding identity among creators facing intense scrutiny from peers and clients alike. As we prepare to delve further into our tale regarding how this specific cabinet card created such impact within photographers' lives during this vibrant decade, it's crucial we acknowledge both its brilliance and tensions brewing beneath surface-level admiration. The threads woven intricately together through art itself shaping careers irrevocably, along with memories enshrined forever in time. The mastermind behind the enigmatic family portrait was a talented and somewhat enigmatic photographer named Alfred Jenkins. Born into a family of artists in 1860, Alfred grew up surrounded by creativity and expression. His mother was a painter, and his father an amateur photographer who encouraged him to explore various artistic mediums. From an early age, Alfred showed a keen eye for detail and an innate understanding of composition, making it clear that he was destined for greatness in the world of photography. By the time he reached his 20s, Alfred had begun working as an apprentice in a local portrait studio. It was here that he learned the fundamentals of photography, how to manipulate light, understand camera settings, and engage with clients. However, while many photographers at the time focused on rigid poses and formalities, Alfred sought to bring warmth and life into his images. He believed that each photograph should tell a story rather than merely capture the subject's likeness. What distinguished Alfred's work from others was his approach to creating connection between the subjects and the viewer. He had a talent for putting people at ease, allowing their natural expressions to shine through in front of his lens. Instead of relying solely on standard poses or backdrops, he often invited families to choose their settings, be it their home or garden, and encouraged them to interact with one another during the session. This method resulted in candid moments that felt genuine and engaging. During this period, Alfred developed his signature style characterized by soft focus and intimate compositions. While other photographers might have relied too heavily on technical precision or grandeur, he integrated emotion into his art by showcasing vulnerability in everyday life. This emotional depth made his portraits resonate powerfully with clients, leading many to return time and again for new family pictures. Alfred's reputation began spreading beyond his small town, as satisfied customers shared their cabinet cards with friends and relatives. Soon enough, word of mouth propelled him into regional fame, leading clients from neighboring towns to seek out his artistic expertise. His studio became a hub for those wanting something more than traditional portraiture. They craved authenticity in capturing their lives. However, it wasn't just the technical aspects of his work that set him apart. It was also his innovative ideas. As demand grew for unique cabinet cards, Alfred began experimenting with new methods, incorporating natural props from family surroundings or using seasonal themes that reflected personal stories. He even dabbled with hand-tinting photographs after they were printed, further customizing each image to better suit individual tastes. As the enigmatic family portrait came together, Alfred applied everything he had learned throughout his career. With keen attention paid not only to lighting, but also to the family's dynamics within the frame. He spent hours arranging everyone thoughtfully until they fit together like pieces of a puzzle. The resulting image was nothing short of magical. It told not just their individual stories, but also linked them together as a cherished unit. In addition to honing his craft as a photographer, Alfred Jenkins possessed strong business acumen, a rare combination among creatives at that time. He understood how important branding would be in establishing long-lasting connections between himself and potential clients. He developed marketing strategies that highlighted customer satisfaction alongside artistic excellence. This approach gave those seeking portraits confidence. They'd receive high-quality results tailored specifically for them. Despite quickly rising through ranks within the photography community due largely to the enigmatic family portrait, the new challenges brought by this fame presented internal conflicts within him over time, struggling against pressures exerted by competitors who sought similar recognition or success according to trends instead of artistry alone. Within quick success loomed intense scrutiny. Every decision became pivotal when competing against well-established name brands, trying desperately not only replicate such stunning imagery, but also fasten control over doing so without losing sight of what originally distinguished genuine artistry compared to mere imitation fueled solely by commercial gain. As we delve deeper into our exploration surrounding Alfred Jenkins and the enigmatic family portrait, we'll uncover not only how external factors influence choices facing him directly, but also understand broader shifts occurring inside creative communities, grappling under immense pressure amid profound transformation, shaping both identity itself amongst creators striving toward excellence. Throughout these exhilarating years, captured perfectly amidst documented moments, forever enshrined within photographs, they made magical over time. When the enigmatic family portrait burst onto the photography scene, it sent ripples of awe and rivalry throughout the artistic community. Photographers from various backgrounds reacted with a mixture of admiration and envy that reflected their own insecurities and aspirations. While many praised Alfred Jenkins for his exceptional talent, others felt the sting of comparison as they struggled to achieve similar acclaim. As word spread about the cabinet card's unique composition and emotional resonance, photographers flocked to view it in person, hoping to glean insights or inspiration from its artistry. They marveled at Jenkins's ability to capture authentic moments, the way he framed the subjects in their home, inviting viewers into their world. Many left his studio feeling inspired, but also somewhat defeated by their attempts to replicate such brilliance in their work. For several photographers, this cabinet card represented an impossible standard against which they measured their creations. Some began experimenting with new techniques in hopes of mimicking Jenkins's success. They painted intricate backdrops or tried various lighting setups, yearning to evoke the same warmth and intimacy that characterized the enigmatic family portrait. However, despite their efforts, many found themselves frustrated when their results fell short and failed to connect emotionally with viewers. This sense of inadequacy gave rise to an atmosphere of competition laced with resentment among some photographers. As studios across towns attempted to match Jenkins's achievements, whispers of discontent circulated through social circles. Comments like, "Jenkins just got lucky," or "his style won't last." Such statements reflected a deeper unease about how rapidly the photography landscape was changing and how quickly success could slip away from those unwilling or unable to adapt. Yet not all responses were filled with envy. Many photographers genuinely admired Jenkins for his fresh approach. They recognized that he had elevated portraiture from mundane snapshots into works of art that could tell profound stories. Some began reaching out to him for insight or mentorship, hoping he would share his secrets and techniques. This camaraderie among artists was significant. It demonstrated a willingness to learn rather than simply compete. Within this environment of admiration, fueled by envy, conversations about artistic integrity emerged more frequently. Photographers started questioning whether they should chase trends in hopes of garnering recognition or remain true to their unique styles and perspectives. Many began debating among themselves if imitation would stifle individuality or if embracing new ideas could enrich their work. For those who looked up to Alfred so much that they adopted elements of his style without developing their own voice, there were concerns over authenticity. A notable camera club even held a debate on whether it was worthwhile for aspiring photographers to follow trends set forth by successful peers like Jenkins instead of forging original paths toward creativity. This sparked long discussions about staying true to one's artistic vision versus pursuing commercial success, a dilemma faced by many creators navigating between personal fulfillment and market demands. Alongside these growing conversations came deeper reflections on mental health within creative communities. Some photographers admitted feeling overwhelmed by pressure not only from competitors, but also from clients who expected them always to deliver extraordinary images, akin to the enigmatic family portrait. As anxiety mounted, conversations about burnout surfaced as well. Excellent artistry no longer seemed sustainable when compared relentlessly against such high standards. While admiration for Alfred Jenkins was prevalent throughout photography circles, envy lingered beneath the surface, creating tension as artists grappled with balancing aspirations against fears formed from perceived failures. For some individuals occupied with comparing themselves directly against him instead of finding ways forward independently, led them toward rethinking whether they wanted to pursue photography altogether, considering how intense competition had become, swiftly overwhelming. As we delve further into our exploration surrounding photographer reactions towards the enigmatic family portrait, we'll uncover stories illustrating successful innovations alongside personal struggles, leading some creators down paths diverging away from art entirely fear-coupled, alongside admiration, merging together today, fostering complex narratives among those navigating uncertain futures shaped intensely through quickly shifting landscapes unfolding around them. The allure of the enigmatic family portrait lies not only in its technical brilliance, but also in the deep emotions and themes it captures. At first glance, viewers are drawn to the intimate setting of the portrait, which features a family that appears genuinely connected, a scene that resonates universally. This sense of togetherness evokes feelings of nostalgia and warmth, reminding people of their own familial bonds and shared experiences. In the image, Alfred Jenkins expertly captured each family member's unique personality while emphasizing their relationships with one another. The father, exuding quiet strength as he holds a book and lounges comfortably, embodies wisdom and stability. The mother, nurturing yet vibrant with her affectionate gaze towards the youngest child, represents love and care. The children add a playful energy to the portrait. Their varying expressions bring to life the dynamics of a family filled with laughter and joy. This portrayal of interconnectedness speaks to a universal experience: the comfort of family life. Another compelling theme present in the photograph is the idea of time and memory. The careful arrangement of the subjects suggests a moment frozen in time, a snapshot that encapsulates not just who they are in that instant, but also reflects their unique journey together. For many viewers, this invokes a bittersweet sense of longing for moments spent with loved ones, or reflections on how quickly time passes. In capturing not just faces, but family history, Jenkins transformed a simple portrait into an emotional tapestry woven from shared memories. The use of natural light in the photograph further amplifies these themes. Soft rays streaming through a nearby window create a warm glow that envelops the subjects in tenderness. This light symbolizes hope and warmth, suggesting that love and connection can thrive even during life's challenges. By using light to enhance emotion, Jenkins invites viewers to feel as though they are witnessing not just an image, but a moment defined by love and authenticity. Moreover, the cabinet card's intricate border design adds layers to its storytelling capability. The floral patterns symbolize growth and beauty, while hinting at the delicate balance of family life. Every relationship requires nurturing just as flowers need care to flourish. In this way, Jenkins' attention to detail transforms the frame into an additional contributor to the overall sentiment expressed within the portrait. This elevated aspect compels viewers to appreciate not only what they see, but also what is implied through artistry visible in every corner. For those who view this cabinet card, emotions can run deep. Joy aligned with sadness when recalling personal stories mirrored by this family scene. Audiences may find themselves reflecting on their own experiences, whether celebrating cherished moments or grappling with loss, as they become invested in the image's narrative. As photographers sought inspiration from the enigmatic family portrait, many tried to incorporate similar elements into their work without realizing how much emotion transcended mere technique. It became clear that capturing such poignant feelings required more than simply replicating Jenna's arrangement or lighting techniques. It required an understanding of human connection itself. This realization prompted some photographers to shift their focus from competition toward emotive storytelling, seeking to capture genuine moments rather than fabricated expressions shaped merely by prevailing trends. Each artist honed their skills in ways that illuminated deeper aspects about families beyond just physical likenesses captured before cameras' lenses. As discussions around emotional authenticity flourished within creative circles, photographers began exploring how they could evoke powerful responses through images reminiscent of Jenkins's masterpiece without succumbing entirely into imitation. Several started embracing vulnerability as strength rather than viewing it as weakness when crafting individual styles, motivated by finding personal connections reflected throughout art they created. Ultimately, the enigmatic family portrait remains compelling because it speaks universally about love, time, memory, and connection. Timeless themes that resonate across generations regardless of context or background. Alfred Jenkins' work serves as a reminder that even within competitive environments where artistic excellence can feel unattainable, lies potential for rich narratives waiting beneath surface-level observations, inviting creators everywhere toward explorations rooted deeply into understanding hearts behind all faces captured within moments, frozen forevermore. Through this lens lies hope for future works, eager not only aspire technically, but also cultivate emotional truths, eager share amongst generations, unfolding over time. The impact of the enigmatic family portrait on the photography industry was profound and far-reaching. As photographers across regions recognized the artistic heights that Alfred Jenkins had achieved, they faced a pivotal moment that forced them to examine their place within an increasingly competitive landscape. The cabinet card not only set new standards for artistic expression, but also reshaped expectations for what family portraits could and should capture. Many photographers who had previously relied on traditional techniques began to feel the weight of this change. They were no longer able to rely solely on rigid poses and plain backdrops. Jenkins' work demanded that they infuse warmth and authenticity into their images. For some, this was an exciting challenge, while for others, it was overwhelming. A realization that their own styles might now seem outdated and irrelevant in comparison to the emotional depth displayed in Jenkins's portraits. As competition intensified, many photographers found themselves grappling with a sense of inadequacy. They became obsessed with replicating the enigmatic family portrait, investing time and resources into honing their skills in lighting and composition, attempting to create similar emotional narratives. However, despite their best efforts, numerous artists struggled to achieve even a fraction of the impact that Jenkins had garnered. This feeling of failure left them drained and disheartened. Over time, the pressure led several photographers to step back from their craft entirely. The dream of capturing intimate moments turned into an exhausting pursuit that drained creativity rather than inspiring it. Photographers who had once loved their art found themselves questioning whether it was still worth pursuing when surrounded by such unfathomable standards. Some felt trapped in a cycle where success seemed ever elusive. A sentiment echoed throughout photography forums, discussions over coffee, or at local gatherings of artists. Additionally, underlying issues related to mental health began surfacing within these communities as professionals openly addressed feelings of anxiety stemming from fierce competition combined with the burden of client expectations. Many clients desired portraits styled similarly to Jenkins's work, but often without realizing the depth and personal connection behind each image. The eagerness for results pushed artists toward burnout as exhaustion mounted in trying times against constant commercial demands. A number of former photographers communicated openly about walking away from what they once cherished most, turning their backs on photography altogether. Their departure left gaps in studios across towns, while highlighting how brutally competitive environments can erode passion sustainability over time, until quitting felt like the only option left available for preserving mental peace or finding personal fulfillment outside artistry. However, amid this turning point came another reality. The chance for growth and reformation within the industry itself sparked conversations about restoring authenticity. Lost amidst fleeting trends driven heavily by external pressures instead of internal motivations toward genuine creation. While some individuals chose to retreat temporarily as they deliberated better paths forward, others took inspiration from those finding ways expand upon emotional storytelling techniques stemming directly from the enigmatic family portrait. These artists turned Jenkins' innovation into motivation by redefining their own signatures deeply rooted in vulnerability, bringing raw authenticity back into frames, showcasing life's intricate beauty beyond competition alone. Furthermore, aspiring photographers began nurturing collaborative networks focused less on rivalry and more on collective learning together through workshops or community exhibits. This shared experience bolstered a sense of camaraderie, encompassing both celebrated successes alongside struggles encountered along journeys shaping growth unexpectedly. Ultimately, though, there would always be remnants lingering regarding envy toward who achieved something magnificent before them. Many learned to foster healthy relationships between creativity-driven motivation, coupled alongside emotional fulfillment, guiding spheres away from unhealthy pursuits alone. Reflecting upon life, captured authentically instead, sought foresight, empowering future generations, seeking depth, transcending technical expertise, shouted loud amidst dangers lurking beneath surface-level visuals exhibited. As we continue examining effects rooted firmly around the enigmatic family portrait, within shifting landscapes, changing artistry so dramatically shaped lives, navigating responsibilities, while tackling evolving definitions around personal worth, integrity, associated success. Inevitably, unfolding complexities nestled tightly, connections, navigating dreams shared amidst countless hearts yearning forevermore. Reaching others, weaving together, visual memories etched onto photographic tapestries, age ushered towards new mediums, emerging alongside transformation, offering hope. Brighten pathways forward, loud proclamations, signaling triumph forever. Remind us all why passion reigns supreme, undeniable truths, inspiring future visions. Manifesting streams beyond mere replication, driving legacy, heralded throughout ages, yet untold. The success of the enigmatic family portrait offered valuable lessons to photographers across the industry, emphasizing the importance of emotional storytelling and connection in their work. As artists grappled with the high standards set by Alfred Jenkins, many began to realize that true artistry transcended technical skills alone. It required a deep understanding of human relationships and the ability to evoke feelings through imagery. One of the key takeaways from this cabinet card's triumph was the realization that authenticity resonates with audiences. Photographers learned that when they infused their work with genuine emotions and personal narratives, they could create portraits that not only captured likenesses, but also told compelling stories. This focus on the narrative aspect transformed photography from mere documentation into a powerful medium for communicating experiences and memories. Additionally, Jenkins' innovative use of light and composition inspired many photographers to explore new techniques that emphasized warmth and intimacy. Instead of sticking rigidly to established norms, they began experimenting with natural lighting, varied angles, and thoughtful arrangements that allowed subjects' personalities to shine. This shift encouraged artists to step outside their comfort zones and take risks in their creative processes, leading to fresh perspectives in their portfolios. The intricate border design of the enigmatic family portrait also served as a reminder of the importance of presentation. Photographers recognized that every detail mattered, from framing to backgrounds. Investing time in these aspects could elevate their work and create a more engaging viewing experience for clients. This renewed attention to detail helped many artists develop a signature style that distinguished them from competitors, while showing clients just how much they valued their work. Furthermore, the enigmatic family portrait sparked conversations about collaboration among photographers. Many began to understand that working together rather than competing against one another could lead to growth and innovation. By sharing insights, techniques, and experiences, photographers enriched their own practices while creating a supportive community where everyone could thrive. Workshops and collaborative projects emerged as popular ways for artists to connect and learn from one another, reinforcing the idea that collective strength could lead to greater accomplishments. As discussions surrounding emotional authenticity flourished within creative circles, it became clear that vulnerability could be a strength rather than a weakness. Photographers who embraced this concept found themselves able to capture deeper connections with their subjects, resulting in portraits that resonated on multiple levels. They learned that sharing their own stories and experiences not only fostered relatability, but also created an environment where clients felt comfortable expressing themselves freely during sessions. For those who had previously felt overwhelmed by competition or feelings of inadequacy, Jenkins's success provided them with renewed hope for what photography could represent beyond commercial value. Rather than simply striving for accolades or recognition, many artists began prioritizing personal fulfillment derived from creating meaningful work. They sought ways to align their artistic visions with the values they held dear, ultimately leading them toward authentic expression. The influence of the enigmatic family portrait extended beyond its immediate impact on individual photographers. It prompted a broader reevaluation of artistic standards within the industry itself. As artists pushed against outdated conventions, they collectively sought paths toward reinvention based on emotional depth rather than superficial trends. This movement toward authenticity ushered in a new era of photography, where storytelling became central to practice. A trend that would shape future generations of photographers eager to explore life's complexities through their lenses. Looking back on the lessons learned from Jenkins's cabinet card success illustrates how transformative moments in art can reshape entire communities. While competition will always exist among creatives, finding ways to inspire collaboration and cultivate emotional connections can ultimately lead individuals toward richer, more fulfilling careers. The legacy of the enigmatic family portrait serves as a beacon for those navigating the challenges posed by an evolving industry filled with opportunities for growth. Reminding artists everywhere that passion combined with authenticity can create lasting impact far beyond mere replication. As we continue exploring the ramifications stemming from this remarkable cabinet card's influence throughout time within photography's evolving narrative, it's essential we recognize how profoundly interconnected our journeys are. Each thread woven meticulously together creates art capable of transcending not just moments captured, but entire eras experienced. Through this lens lies hope, welcoming future photographers into realms where dreams flourish alongside creativity, nurtured deeply rooted passions, guiding paths forged toward vibrant expressions shared long after images fade away. The moment captured in the enigmatic family portrait not only marked a pivotal chapter in photography history, but also laid the groundwork for the future of portrait photography. As this cabinet card gained recognition and acclaim, its influence permeated the industry in ways that would shape artistic practices for generations to come. One lasting impact of Jenkins's work was the shift toward emotional storytelling within portraits. Photographers began to realize that their images had the power to convey deep narratives and genuine connections, transforming how they approached their craft. This newfound emphasis on emotion led to a more personal connection between photographers and their subjects, significantly altering the photographer-client relationship. No longer were subjects mere faces to capture. They became collaborators in creating meaningful visual stories that resonated with viewers. Moreover, Jenkins's innovative use of light and composition introduced a new aesthetic standard that encouraged artists to explore lighting techniques that emphasized warmth and intimacy. The dramatic interplay of shadows and highlights not only improved the visual appeal of portraits, but also enriched their emotional depth. This experimental approach inspired countless photographers to step away from formulas based solely on technical precision and instead embrace artistry rooted in feeling. As a result, portraiture evolved into an expressive art form capable of conveying complex human emotions and experiences. The intricate border design in the enigmatic family portrait also served as an important reminder about presentation. This awareness prompted photographers to give equal weight to both their images and their framing, leading many to develop unique styles that enhance their compositions. With aesthetics becoming essential to photography's identity, artists recognize the value of investing time into each detail, creating visual presentations that engaged viewers even before they set eyes upon the image itself. Furthermore, this cabinet card sparked conversations across the photography community about collaboration versus competition. Many artists began to see the importance of sharing insights and creative ideas amongst peers, rather than viewing each other solely as rivals for success. This shift fostered a supportive environment where knowledge flowed freely, encouraging workshops and cooperative projects aimed at improving techniques collectively rather than through cutthroat competition alone. As collaborations flourished, a vital lesson emerged. Vulnerability could be transformed into strength within portrait art. Embracing genuine emotions allowed photographers not only to deepen connections with their subjects, but also encouraged clients to express themselves more openly during sessions. The act of sharing personal stories helped form bonds between artist and subject that yielded more authentic portrayals, ones brimming with life and relatability. Additionally, as photographers integrated these approaches into their practices, they began prioritizing personal fulfillment over mere commercial success dictated by fleeting trends. Moving away from seeking accolades towards grounding their visions in values aligned with authenticity exemplified how influential the enigmatic family portrait had been for those looking for purpose behind creative pursuits. As photographers reflected on these lessons learned from Jenkins' acclaimed work while pushing against outdated norms, it catalyzed a broader cultural reevaluation within portrait photography itself. Gradually evolving conversations focused on artistic integrity and emotional depth reshaped standards established long ago when technical proficiency dominated photographic discourse. The embrace of profound storytelling resulted in an era where capturing human complexity became central. Not just a technique employed, but rather a philosophy embedded deeply within lens crafting journeys undertaken by artists everywhere. Looking forward, this legacy of emotional resonance left by the enigmatic family portrait continued exerting influence even beyond immediate practitioners, actively documenting everyday lives around them. Aspiring generations saw firsthand how transcending traditional boundaries could enhance creativity exponentially accessible across mediums nowadays. Infusing visual arts with deeper meanings ultimately motivated newer artists toward exploration grounded entirely on capturing not merely appearances, but celebrating whole experiences painted vibrantly through artistic expression. In conclusion, the moment represented by the enigmatic family portrait signifies a landmark turning point for portrait photography rooted firmly in narrative possibilities, expanding limitless potential showcased courageously through every checking photograph created henceforward. These shifts remain palpable today, a reminder embedded steadfastly within creative spirits, eager for transformative connections, traversing uniquely along paths forged together, amid countless snapshots unfolding life's extraordinary tales. Waiting green-lighted further narrations heard potentially echoing forever, more cascading lovingly ahead. Like precious tapestries woven timelessly throughout history still unfolding. The significance of the enigmatic family portrait extends far beyond its status as a remarkable cabinet card. It represents a pivotal moment in the evolution of portrait photography. This cabinet card not only captivated audiences when it was first unveiled, but also set forth a series of changes that transformed the way photographers approached their craft and how society perceived the art of capturing human experiences. The legacy of this image is one that continues to influence the photography industry to this day. At its core, the enigmatic family portrait exemplified the power of emotional storytelling and genuine connection between photographer and subject. Alfred Jenkins's ability to create a narrative through imagery challenged other artists to embrace deeper themes in their work, moving away from mere representation toward expressions rich with feeling and authenticity. This shift increased the emotional resonance of portraits, allowing them to communicate complex human experiences and relationships, a transformation that remains vital in contemporary portraiture. As photographers reflected upon Jenkins' innovative techniques, they began integrating elements such as natural lighting, unique compositions, and thoughtful framing into their practices. The result was a new aesthetic standard emphasizing warmth, intimacy, and authenticity over cold precision. This newfound appreciation for emotional depth inspired artists to break free from traditional constraints and explore creative avenues that encouraged personal expression, establishing a landscape where individuality became paramount in artistic identity. Moreover, the enigmatic family portrait ignited a movement toward collaboration within the photography community. As artists recognized how much they could learn from one another's experiences, workshops and group exhibitions flourished as avenues for growth and innovation. This cooperative spirit countered the previously competitive atmosphere pervasive in the industry, promoting an environment where photographers supported each other's journeys rather than viewed them solely as rivals. Fostered through shared insights and collective growth, this camaraderie elevated artistic standards while nurturing creativity across communities. In terms of professional relationships, Jenkins's portrait illustrated how vulnerability could serve as strength, a lesson many photographers embraced in their own practices. Emphasizing genuine emotions fostered deeper connections with subjects, allowing clients to express themselves authentically during sessions. This approach transformed how photographers engaged with their work, moving conversations around artistry toward meaningful interaction rather than transactional exchanges solely focused on results. Furthermore, the legacy of the enigmatic family portrait served as a beacon for aspiring photographers seeking inspiration in an ever-evolving industry landscape. It encouraged those new to photography to prioritize personal fulfillment over conventional measures of success, realigning their artistic visions with values centered around authenticity rather than merely chasing fleeting trends or accolades. By grounding themselves in purposeful expression fueled by individual narratives, many artists found renewed motivation amidst shifting dynamics. As generations of photographers progressed into digital eras overflowing with innovations, the teachings imparted by Jenkins's seminal work continued reverberating through time, acting as a guiding principle, encouraging exploration beyond surface-level aesthetics. Today's image makers consistently seek deeper meanings reflected across mediums, infusing visual storytelling with rich narratives celebrating human experiences instead of simple documentation alone. In conclusion, the significance of the enigmatic family portrait cannot be understated. Its impact on portrait photography has created a foundation for both technical excellence and emotional honesty intertwined harmoniously over decades since its inception. As this cabinet card's legacy lives on amongst creatives forging vibrant connections along unique paths toward expression, every photograph taken by future artists bears witness not just moments encapsulated within frames, but transformative narratives inscribed eternally across time. In this dance between art and life, captured beautifully, await boundless discoveries echoing throughout history, each telling its tale woven lovingly together, with threads symbolizing our shared journeys beneath countless skies shining brightly ahead. Ultimately, it is through these connections forged amidst transformative recounts, emerged alongside extraordinary visuals, that we are reminded why photography will forever hold significance. Reflecting not merely images, but also stories that bring us closer together on our shared human journey.